Hello everyone, it's Ant Hazuki here, and today I'll be covering the official SEGA Saturn Android controller that I received as a Christmas present this year. I first noticed this for sale in department stores around the country in late autumn last year, and I was instantly excited by the prospect of being able to use the legendary Saturn controller to play my favourite Android games without having to faff about with the inaccurate touchscreen controls that many mobile games have. For those not in the know, the Saturn controller is considered one of the best controllers ever made before the era of 3D and thumbsticks became the norm. If you like 2D games, this was the controller to use, as it had a wonderful D-pad, responsive buttons, and it felt very comfortable to hold in your hands. If you're a Sega fan like me, you'd know exactly why I'd be really excited to have this to play my Android games with. So I didn't get this right away, as the price for it at the time I thought was quite expensive. It was over £30. But a relative saw it on offer and managed to pick it up for a more reasonable £15 in the pre-Christmas sales. So what exactly is it like? Well, first impressions are good. On first glance, it looks like the collaboration between Sega and Paladone have worked together to create a Sega fan's dream. It looks like the Sega controller of legend, and that they have designed it to work with the vast majority of Sega Android titles that have been released so far, including Sonic, Streets of Rage, Crazy Taxi, and Virtual Tennis. They have made sure that it can pair with any Android device that has Bluetooth, and the phone is designed to sit comfortably in the holder at the top of the screen. Using it with my phone, it sat nicely in the holder, was very adjustable, and it didn't mark or damage the phone. You can also take the holder off and have the controller as is, which means you can use it on PC as a generic Bluetooth controller, and you can also use it on other Android tablets as well. So far so good. However, the positives basically end there. The number one aspect when you buy a controller is button responsiveness. If this is not done right, then everything else falls apart. Unfortunately, this is a huge negative with this controller. Unlike the original Saturn pad, this has major responsiveness issues with the D-pad. Simply put, if I press right or down on the D-pad, it regularly misses my inputs, rendering a huge exercise in frustration when playing many of the games. I returned the controller and tried another one, and exactly the same thing happened. Investigating this issue further, online I found reviews from people with exactly the same issues, and I even in the end downloaded a controller input app to test it to confirm that yes, it was missing inputs. The problems don't end there. Many of the games advertised with the pad as being designed to work with the pad, the reason for owning the pad, have simply not been configured correctly. For example, playing Streets of Rage 2, the A button has been set as jump, B is attack, and the C button does absolutely nothing, rather than aping the original default controls for the game that has been on every single classic collection available along with the original release, with A being a special attack, B being a normal attack, and C being jump. Or, weirdly as I found with Sonic CD, Sonic just starts running to the right automatically and doesn't stop. And many of the games you still have to use the touchscreens to navigate the menus or other parts of the game, basically negating the point of the controllers in the first place. And in some games I found that I couldn't even get it to recognise the changes in the control scheme when I tried to change it. Another really frustrating design choice is that they put a blue light in the centre of the controller. Now I know this is meant to tell you that the controller is on and paired and in use, but it constantly flashes on and off, and this gets really annoying because you have the screen held to you quite closely, and it just keeps flickering, and I found it very, very distracting. And this is even worse if you're using it in a dark room. I would have preferred the option if they just kept it on as a constant blue light. That would be better, and probably made it slightly duller as well. But there's no option to be able to switch this off, it seems, or change it of any kind. So, all in all, I will be taking this back to get a refund, and whilst I hesitate to call anything garbage, this controller simply is not good enough, especially for the original price they were asking for it. I must admit personally, it's getting very frustrating as a Sega fan that they continue to license out most of them well remembered properties and products to third parties, and then the end results being so poor. They really do need to start to improve on this, and soon. Take for example this Nintendo alarm clock I also got for Christmas. It looks like a Game Boy, it lights up like a Game Boy, the alarm sound is a classic Mario tune, and heck, they've even made sure the buttons work and they are very responsive. It's just a shame that it doesn't play any classic games. Anyway, thank you for watching, and as ever please let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, and I always appreciate a like or subscribe. Cheers, and see you in the next video.